Om Sai Ram. Today I'm going to talk about Keshav Gawankar. His life is very interesting and the grace of Baba was with him at all times. He was born on 28th April 1906. His parents were very religious. His father used to work in distributing coal, so he was not at home a lot. He would go to the forest to collect the fossils. His uncle Vittal Kaka and his aunt Thamabai loved the child very much and they looked after his welfare. When he was born, Vittal Kaka and Thamabai wanted his horoscope to be made. His uncle already knew astrology. Vittal Kaka called Vithoba Anna Purandare, who was a renowned astrologist, and asked him to make his horoscope. Now, when he made the horoscope, he was really surprised and he said, "Oh my God, this child is going to turn out to be a great saint." And indeed, that is exactly what happened. One day at night, an incident took place. His mother got up at midnight and wanted to check on little Keshav. She lit a lantern as it was extremely dark, and while doing so, a match fell on the child and the bedclothes caught on fire. With great difficulty, they extinguished the fire. And then when they picked up the child and looked at him, there was not a single burn. The child came out of the fire unscathed. Here again we see, unknowing to the family, Baba's grace on this child. This child was not burnt a little bit either. When the child was going to go to school at about 7 years, they gave him the mantra Om Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Namah Siddha. And then he was put into school. When he was in school, one day he came home. He had a high fever, so they made him comfortable and looked after him. But the fever was relentless. It went on continuing for a long time. His chest was congested and he was coughing uncontrollably. The doctors came and they said that the child had empyema, that is, the lungs were filled with pus and blood. So they took second opinions and third opinions. They called Dr. Bhamadkar and Dr. Rao, and both of them said, this child needs to get it drained. That would be a small surgical procedure. Vittal Kaka was astonished. He did not want little Keshav to go through all this trouble. He said it would hurt the child terribly and he could just not bear it. So they did not agree for the surgery when the date came up. Vittal Kaka would not give consent for the surgery. Then this continued like this for about 3 months. Keshav kept on having high fever and he was coughing. One day, Yashwantrao Galvankar, who was the son-in-law of Dabulkar, had gone to Shirdi and he came back with a photograph of Baba and Udi and Tirth. He went to Vittal Kaka and while he was there, he gave the photograph and the Udi Tirth. And then he said to him, "Kaka, Keshav has been sick for so long. You have tried everything. Why don't you resort to the feet of Sai Baba? Just take a vow and I'm sure he will be okay." Thamabai, who was standing there at that time, immediately took a vow and said, "Deva, if Keshav recovers, I will give you 5 seer of peda." In those days, they used to use the seer and not kilograms. Prior to this, Vittal Kaka also went to he placed the photograph of Baba in a very nice place. He did arti to him, and then he bowed at his feet and said, Deva, I have never met you, but please help Keshav. Let him recover. He is at death's door, and I am so concerned about him. Please make him well, make him recover. And every night, Vittal Kaka and Thamabai would sit at Keshav's bedside. One day, she got a dream in which she saw Sai Baba enter the room. He went to the child and he passed his hand over the body of the child. And then he said, Allah Bala Karega, but you have to give me a coconut. And then he disappeared. The next day, they found that the child was not running a high temperature. In fact, Thamabai thought that he had passed away because he was cold. So they called the doctor and they found that the child had recovered. The interesting thing that they noted there was that the vest was stuck to his chest and then it was wet. So when they cut it, they found there was a small hole below his right nipple through which the blood and the pus was oozing out. The doctor came and he pressed the area around it and then all the blood and the pus came out. Then Keshav started recovering and he went to school. But when he went to school, he was really not interested in studying. He used to go to a Swami Samarth Mutt which was close by and he would sit and meditate there. Swami Samarth also blessed the child and he grew up to be very religious. Academically, he did very well and he became a doctor. Now, let us go back to the vow that was taken. The uncle and the aunt quite forgot about the vow. However, they did go to Shirdi in January of 1918 with the 5 seers of Peda. When they went there, Baba held the hand of Keshav and made him sit close to him. And then he said, give me 2 paisa as dakshina. Shama, who was standing close by, held the hand of Keshav as he was so astonished and he didn't know what was happening. So Shama came and held his hand. Then he took Baba's hand and put it in there and he told the child, say Diya. And Baba, Liya. So that is exactly what happened. The action of giving and taking the dakshina was done. This was for Keshav to realize Shraddha and Saburi. Then he turned to the aunt and he said, when she was handing over the packet of pedas, she had bought 5 seers of peda as per the vow and she had bought some more. Baba took the other pedas that were there and he gave it to Keshav in Keshav's hand. Then he took the packet and started eating it all by himself. Shama said, Are Deva, what are you doing? You are eating all the pedas by yourself. So then he looked at the aunt and said, this lady has starved me for 5 years, so let me eat the pedas. Then he held Keshav's hand and made him sit next to him. Prior to going to Shirdi, he had the Upanayanam and so his head was shaved and he had a shendi. Baba held his hand and made Keshav sit down. Then he held him by the shendi and he placed his head on his feet. Then Baba gave him a tight slap across his cheek. It was so forceful that his cap flew into the Sabha Mandap. Then, after this, Baba took off his Kafni and gave it to him. He actually placed it on this child. Oh, what a lucky child this was. Shama, who was standing there, said, Deva, this child is so small to realize the value and the worth of your Mahaprasad. I'll keep the Kafni for him. And then, when he grows up, I will give it back to him. And that is exactly what happened. When Keshav was a young adult, Shama, for his promise, returned the Kafni to him. This Kafni is in their home in Kurla, and anybody can go and have darshan of it. Keshav grew up to be a very good doctor, but more than being a doctor, he did social service. He treated the poor for free. He did not ask for any money to those who could not afford it. He gave them free medicines and looked after them. But most importantly, he was always in communication with Baba. And many people came to him for their problems, both spiritual and temporal. And Keshav would ask Baba about the problems. He would set the problems in front of Baba at his feet. And then Baba would give him an answer, and then he would tell the people. And every time it worked. So, this way he benefited a lot of people who came to him, whether it was a politician, it was a rickshaw driver, it was a beggar, it was a rich man. There was no differentiation for any of them. When he grew up, he wanted a guru, and Baba had told him that he would find his Moksha guru. As predicted by Sai Baba, one day Keshav and his friend went to a chawl, and there they saw a man sitting in deep meditation. Keshav suddenly said, "Bhau," and he opened his eyes and he said, "Come, your Sai Baba is here." This was Anna Savant, who became his guru. Keshav thrived spiritually under his guru. Once they went to Moregaon, as he was a Ganpati Upasak. There they brought a mandar tree, and Keshav planted it in front of his house. He nurtured it and looked after it, and after 21 years, when it was dug out the roots, they found a murti of Ganpati. This murti is in their home right even today, and people can go and have a darshan of it. He was influenced by a person called Paile Shastri, who had written books. At that time, Paile Shastri said, "You're so fluent with the kirtans and kathas and all this. Why don't you write the life of Sai Baba?" This made him want to do so. That night, while he was sleeping, he got a dream in which Baba said, "Come on, get up, start writing." He looked at the time, it was 1:30 early in the morning, and he sat down like in a trance and started writing till 10 o'clock. So that was the way how the book Shirdiche Sai Baba came about. Following the books, Dr. Gawankar wrote Shiladhi, Shirdiche Sai Baba, and Sai Baba Herch Chamatkar. Shirdiche Sai Baba and the other book, Sai Baba Herch Chamatkar, is with the descendants of his, and one can get that from there, while Shiladhi is published by the Sansthan. Dr. Keshav Gawankar did a lot of work for the Sansthan also, Shirdi Sai Baba Sansthan. He was the chairman of it. And in 1954, when the great event took place. That was the Prana Pratishta of the Murti of Sai Baba took place. There were other devotees who had been with Sai Baba, so they put chits, and Dr. Gawankar's name came out for doing the Prana Pratishta. However, Dr. Gawankar was in Mumbai. He was coming by bus with 16 other pandits, but on the way, the bus got punctured and it took some time. So, this happened at Attagaon near Shailpur. All the people got down, went to a lake, had a bath, and they were quite ready. Then they reached the place, and just as BV Dev was about to do the Pran Pratishta, Dr. Gawankar reached there. This was a wonder in itself. What they did was, because Swami Sharanand was a sannyasi, he was unable to sit for the Pran Pratishta. However, they gave him the honor of unveiling the statue of Baba. And Dr. Gawankar did the Pran Pratishta of the Murti. As a chairman, he brought about a lot of changes in it, and he made the Shirdi Sai Baba Sansthan into what a beautiful Sansthan it is today. So, I give a lot of thanks to Dr. Gawankar. The other thing is that his books are there. When one reads these books, one gets a different idea of Shirdi and a totally different idea of your Sadguru, which is great because you know so many facts about the Sadguru. You know so many facts about Lendibag and the areas in Shirdi where all the devotees go to. So if one reads these books and then goes to these places, oh my God, it is so good. You get an idea of how the Lendibag had the trees and what it represents and the significance of these places. How Shirdi was Shiladhi and how it became Shirdi. All these things are given in his book. And I, for one, am eternally grateful to Dr. Keshav Gawankar. I have to tell you about the death of this great man. He died on Ashadi Ekadashi of 1985. He knew that he was going to pass away, and he was a little sick at that time, and Dr. Ajikar came to him. And then he said to him, "Oh doctor, I have seen the 7 levels. I was asked my Bij mantra. I was asked about the Ramayana and the Mahabharata and the epics. I can see the Varkaris of Pandharpur. They are waiting for me. So give them food and keep enough rice because Guru Purnima is coming." Here, Dr. Gawankar could see the future of it. Then he went into the bathroom, had a bath, cleansed himself, for he was going to be offered to Agni. And then he stood before the picture of Sai Baba. He did the arti and bowed to him. And then he passed away. This was the most beautiful death that I have seen of any devotee. After doing arti to Baba and praying to him, and then he passed away. This is a loss for all of us. However, we can learn a lot of things from his books. So I encourage people to please read his books. In fact, Shirdiche Sai Baba has been translated into English and is available with the descendants of the family. The descendants of the family also continue his work. Baba had asked Gawankar to perform the Khojagari Purnima and to do the Ram Navami festival in his home. I forgot to tell you about the Ram Navami festival. Baba had told him to do the Ram Navami festival, so he got a cradle fixed. However, the murti was not available. He searched for it high and low but couldn't find a beautiful murti. Finally, he thought, Baba, I can't find the murti. I'm just going to keep a picture of Lord Ram and do the Ram Navami. That evening, he was sitting in his office when he noticed a strange man sitting amongst his patients. He asked him what his problem was, health-wise. The man said, I will talk to you when it's my turn. When it was his turn, the man did come in and handed him a parcel. And then he said, I am leaving, and left, and he couldn't be found anywhere. When he opened the parcel, he found a beautiful murti of Lord Sri Ram. This was placed in the cradle, and Ram Navami was celebrated. This murti that was given to him by Baba himself is in their home. Another thing is that they perform Khojagiri Purnima at Shirdi, and this is continued even to this date. So, I will end the life story of Keshav B. Gawankar with the words that I am eternally grateful to this spiritual leader who had written all these books for us, and they are a must read. Om Sai Ram.